Hello, hello. We're doing a live. Hi there, hi there, hi there. We are talking hormonal belly fat. Very exciting. Hormonal belly fat. So do join, do join. Lovely to see you. Haven't seen you for a while. And let's talk about hormonal belly fat. Hope you're all well. Hello, thank you for joining me. So, such an exciting topic, such an important topic, hormonal belly fat. Who doesn't get affected by it from, well, women it's 30 onwards, 35 onwards, men it's maybe 40 onwards. Hello. But it's, you know, a major thing for 100% of people, whatever gender, over the age of 30 for women, over the age of 40 for men, and if you're gender neutral, somewhere between there. So it's just the most important thing, hormonal belly fat. Let's talk about it. First of all, thank you for joining. Masses of you joining. Hello, hello. First of all, let's do a little bit of breathing, okay? Because our breath, positivity, purpose, and happiness go very much towards reducing our hormonal belly fat for the many reasons I'm going to talk through when we get onto that. So let's just do a little bit of breathing. Let's breathe in for 4, out for 6. In for 4, and out for 6. One more, in for 4, and out for 6. Fantastic. So, are we in the moment now? Let's let go of all the work stress. Let's get rid of all the family stress. Let's let go of all the finance stress. Let's get rid of all stress. Let's just be in the moment right now. Let's have a conversation about hormonal belly fat. Let's just talk about that. Let's just focus on that. We don't know what's happening in the future. Can't change the past. So let's just be in the moment right now. It's the best moment of your life. This is heaven. Let's just focus on the moment and let's just talk about hormonal belly fat because it's so incredibly important to all my clients. And as I said, to 100% of the population over a certain age. So let's talk about it. And of course, it's a male-female thing. Hormonal belly fat is not women only or men only. It's everybody, yeah? Everybody suffers from hormonal belly fat. As our estrogen levels go down, we have consequences. As our testosterone levels go down, we have consequences. As our progesterone levels go down, we have consequences. And this is what happens when we get to 30 for women and 40 for men. It all starts to change. Now, men get more estrogen once their testosterone goes down. So beyond the age of 40, men's testosterone starts to go down and their estrogen starts to go up. Now, testosterone, women and men, when we're 30, we have the same amount of testosterone. We have the same amount. Isn't that incredible? And yet when women start to lose their testosterone, they're told by all the doctors, oh, you don't need it. We do. Testosterone for men and for women, when you start to lose it, it means you actually start to lose muscle tone. When you start to lose muscle tone or the ability to create muscle, then actually what will happen is you'll have more subcutaneous fat and less skeletal muscle, so you'll start to put on weight. Low testosterone can lead to less sex drive, less muscle tone, losing your mojo, losing your drive for life, brain fog. So testosterone lowering affects everything, but it will also affect hormonal belly fat because as soon as we have, for men, less testosterone, you have more estrogen, and that means your the weight will go on, particularly around the belly area. And for women, testosterone going down, again, the same. Less muscle tone equals means you burn less calories in the day, so your basal metabolic rate, your metabolism slows down, and again, weight will go on. So when we lose our testosterone, male and female, the consequences are hormonal belly fat. So we will want good testosterone, and I'm afraid that starts to decrease. That's why we have to change our eating and change our exercise once we get over a certain age, because once this hormonal belly fat starts, yeah, we need to know what we're doing. We need to know all the tricks. We need all the secrets that we're maybe not told by marketing and media. So that's really important. Estrogen is the other one. There's 3 hormones: testosterone, estrogen, progesterone. All 3 of them start to change for women over 30, for men over 40, and this is when the hormonal belly fat starts. So progesterone, a lack of progesterone can lead to depression, can lead to not sleeping well, can lead to loss of your mojo, can lead to putting on weight, These are all signs of progesterone lowering, and again, as we get more to a certain age, progesterone starts to decrease, so you get those kind of symptoms, and all of those will, again, what did I say, lead to weight gain. The other one is estrogen. Estrogen is what gives you your positivity, but estrogen, again, a lack of estrogen is dry skin, getting irritable, progesterone, hot flushes, I've got to say about that as well, and lack of sleep. Progesterone is hot flushes and lack of sleep. So really, really important, the progesterone, yeah? Estrogen, really, really important in women when it starts to dip, because it's the one that lubricates our joints. It's the one that keeps us from being irritable. It's the one that, has like muscles, ligaments, tendons, as the collagen starts to go. So estrogen is really, really important, but most important for the weight. What happens is our estrogen blunts the cortisol. When we have less estrogen, the cortisol goes up, which means raised cortisol, we actually get heavier around the middle. It can actually raise your cortisol, which means you're actually going to get heavier around the middle. So when the estrogen goes down, the cortisol goes up. So women of a certain age start to put on a lot of weight around their middle. Men starts a bit later, it's when their testosterone dips, for the reasons I said. Start to put weight on around your middle. And with men, it's the opposite. The estrogen goes up, which is more fat cells, which is what women had. So men have less muscle, more fat, and that's why they'll put on weight. So all these hormones that are changing, that's why we call it hormonal belly fat, are affecting men and women. But all of these things can be reversed, or rather improved upon. We can do what we need to do, but as we get older, you might notice we kind of need to be more on it than when we're younger. When we're younger, it all kind of falls into place. When we get older, it gets harder. A 30-year-old guy, a 20-year-old guy can go to the gym and just exercise, and they can almost exercise off food because their skeletal muscle's high, their subcutaneous fat's low, and therefore when calories come at them, units of energy, that muscle burns it off. Yeah. When we get older, of course, that's not happening anymore because of the lack of testosterone. The skeletal muscle starts to go down, the subcutaneous fat goes up. So when calories come at an older man, they're not eaten by that muscle. It's not there anymore, so the fat sits on us. Same with women. When we're younger, again, we can almost exercise off food. We can go to the gym and do lots of exercise, and also we haven't got all these hormones raging, which starts in sort of 30 onwards. So it's a much better chance. We've got much lower subcutaneous fat, much higher skeletal muscle. But from 30 onwards, a woman loses a pound of muscle a year and puts on 1.5 pounds of fat. Now, we don't care about the weight, but what it means is over 10 years you put on 5 pounds, but you've lost 10 pounds of muscle and put on 15 pounds of fat. Yeah, so the difference is, of course, with 5 pounds of fat, the difference is you've stopped burning calories. Yeah, subcutaneous fat's gone up, skeletal muscle's going down. Skeletal muscle burns calories when you move, subcutaneous fat doesn't. Now imagine that happening year after year, that change, skeletal muscle's going down, subcutaneous fat's going up, so we have a slower metabolism. So women really by 40 start to notice this slower metabolism because from 30 onwards there's been that change. By 50 it's different. So women between 35 and 55, the average woman can put on 2 stone, 13 kilos. The average woman can put on 13 kilos, 2 stone between 35 and 55, just because of the hormones changing. And then between 55 and 75, put on 1 pound a year as well, because once you get over sort of 50, your skeletal muscle can deplete by 3% a year. Whereas when you're younger, between 30 and 55, it might be 3% to 8% every 10 years. So it's all about skeletal muscle, not bulk, not hypertrophy. Yeah, it's all about, let's call it toning, lean muscle, not hypertrophy, not what we're doing in the gym, not bulk, we're not doing that, no, not hypertrophy, lean muscle. We start to lose lean muscle, yeah, and what it's then replaced by is subcutaneous fat that doesn't burn any calories, lean muscle burns. So the higher the lean muscle, the better the BMR, the basal metabolic rate, the more we can eat. Once we have low skeletal muscle, high subcutaneous fat, have you got those friends who literally, they seem to eat nothing and they put on weight and they're always moaning about it? Well, that's because they've got high subcutaneous fat, low skeletal muscle. Then you've got other friends who can eat everything they like and they're still lean because they've got high skeletal muscle. So we just need to change it back. We just need to take that subcutaneous fat down and raise that skeletal muscle. That's through food, eating signs, what you're eating, and obviously resistance exercise to get that skeletal muscle up even further. So it's all reversible. There is no need to put on any weight between 35 and 55 or 55 and 75, actually, if you know what you're doing. Hormonal belly fat. You just need to know what to do. So it's both fats, hormonal belly fat. It's not just your subcutaneous fat, it's your visceral fat too. You've got two kinds of fats. Visceral fat is the fat inside us, wrapped around our intestines, our organs, it's within us, and that's the one that makes our metabolic age very high. So although we can't see the visceral fat, it is the danger fat. It is the one that matters most, because if it's high, it ages you. If it's very high, it can really age you. And then actually there can be health consequences. So visceral fat affects hormonal belly fat, as does subcutaneous fat. Subcutaneous fat's the other fat. It's the external fat, the fat you can pinch. That fat is affected by what time you eat and what you eat and resistance, as I said. So you've got two different kinds of fat, subcutaneous and visceral. And for the belly, that's what's so unique about it. It's both fats. That's why we have to have a really good strategy when we get to 30 and over as women, 40 over as men, because literally by 52, it's like a magic button. A lot of men suddenly start to really notice their belly, and a lot of women by 35, well, by 40 really are going, this is really tough. I used to just be able to go to the gym and lose weight, and that's not happening anymore. No, because the hormonal changes have affected that. Yeah, if you're perimenopausal as well, don't forget the estrogen levels are all over the place. So down goes the estrogen, up goes the anxiety, up goes the irritability. You can maybe turn to food. Up goes the joint pain quite often, maybe some inflammation, which means of course you're then insulin resistant. Up, the irritability means you can turn to food, but also you've got your dry skin, and you've got your not sleeping so well, your progesterone. So when that goes down, which again is in your perimenopause, which is 41 to 51 on average, that's the average menopause. The average menopause is 51 to 57. So 41 to 51 for women is 10 years of perimenopause. Progesterone is the hormone that helps you sleep, as I said. So when that goes down, less sleep. If you're tired, you're insulin resistant. So that means your body just turns off the fat burning. It just turns it off because we are an animal and our body believes in protecting ourselves. So our body will not burn fat if there's any sign of worry, because being an animal, our body is there to protect us. It thinks the fat is there to help us. So it just switches off the fat burning. So when the progesterone goes down, you could be tired, hot flashes, not feeling so great, estrogen, the brain fog. So all these things can start to contribute to you using food in a different way. So it might not just be the hormones. If you've got anxiety, irritability from the estrogen, and tiredness from the progesterone, and depression, the lack of progesterone, then you can start using food for the wrong reasons. We might be using food to try and give us happiness or try and give us energy. And as we know, eating sugars to give us energy is a very short fix. You get the high, but then a couple of hours later, because the blood sugar grabs all that sugar to protect you, takes it out of the blood sugar into your liver and your muscles, and then anything spare goes into your fat cells. Then you get that dip, the blood sugar dip, and then you crave more of the same thing you ate. So this is when all the food gets so connected in. So it's not just those hormones. The food really affects you, because once we get a bit more irritability or not so happy or less testosterone, if you're losing your drive a bit, people then start using food in different ways. So it's quite amazing how it all happens at the same time. But as I said, positivity, all of it is reversible when you understand that. When you understand it's your hormones, it's not your fault. When you understand that anxiety or irritability is not your fault. When you understand that lack of sleep, none of it is anybody's fault. It's just hormones. And we can really deal with that and get on top of it by getting our exercise right, by getting our food right. It's amazing how serotonin comes from the gut. So your happiness comes from your gut. Endorphins come from exercise. Serotonin comes from exercise. So your happiness pills, the natural happiness pills we're given, serotonin and endorphins, come from the gut and from exercise. So bizarrely, the older we get, the more conscious we have to be of what we're eating, and the more conscious we have to be doing the right exercise. Not manic, not even needing to go to the gym. Let's not even call it exercise. Some people hate that word. Let's call it more movement. The right movement for you, for your age, for your body type, at the right time of day, can give you the right results for your hormonal belly fat. It can reduce it. It's very much about eating times, about food, what you're having at supper. That's very much the belly. And then the visceral fat is very much the exercise, what time you're exercising, what kind of exercise you're doing, because the visceral fat isn't affected by food so much, it's affected by how much you're moving at the right time of day. So you're burning fat optimally, not sugar burning, just fat burning, it's a level lower. That's what we're after. We're after visceral fat burning certain times of day, certain types of exercise. And as I said, resistance is a different kind of exercise. That's for the subcutaneous fat, which hormonal belly fat is both. So you see how it all is fascinating, how it all joins together, how interesting it all is, and how it all kind of comes at us at the same time. And therefore how important it is to know how to deal with it. Now, in my one-to-one programs, obviously I give you everything you need to know. I give you all the nutrition advice for your hormones. I give you all the exercise advice or movement for your hormones. I give you all the eating psychology advice for your emotional eating and all the motivation and accountability. You have all 5 things, you're going to get amazing results for your hormonal belly fat. It's quite difficult to do it on your own because 1, do you know everything? 2, have you got the accountability and motivation? You've got the motivation to do it yourself. Because the minute we turn to food to give us happiness, which can often happen when we're sort of feeling a bit low, losing our mojo as our hormones, change when we get older. The minute we eat those kind of foods, it can actually make the dopamine release. So it's not about willpower. It's about the dopamines. The dopamines release, and then we want more. And then we want more. And then we want more of whatever we've given ourselves. So it's really important to make sure we're eating the right food, healthy food, really trying to avoid those processed foods, because those processed foods are full of processed sugar, and that processed sugar is too much sugar for our lifestyle. Let's go back 150,000 years. Let's go back to the last 150,000 years. We were all farmer, hunter, gatherer, labourer. Everybody moved all day. So anything quite heavy, sugar-based, in a healthy way, let's say anything, I don't know, like something like rice, which is very heavy, it's 70 GI, it's 8 teaspoons of sugar in a bowl of rice, is brilliant if you're moving all day. If you're in the paddy fields or in the mountains, or, building something all day or making something all day, if we're moving all day, expending energy all day, then it's brilliant to have something like that, because 8 mouthfuls of rice, 8 teaspoons of sugar gives you that high. It doesn't give you any nutritional value. It's not vitamins or minerals, or it's just a bulking agent to make you have a lot of energy to be able to build or make something. But when we have that kind of food, when we're not moving, which most people are doing now, most people are sitting all day, most people have office jobs, hope you have a standing desk. If people are sitting, then they're not burning any calories. And so when you have something like a bowl of rice, 8 mouthfuls of processed sugar, your body will tell you about it. So you need to go for a 2-hour walk. It's quite simple, yeah? And if you don't, you go through the process I just told you, that blood sugar high, the insulin squirts out to save you from going into sort of faster sleep you find after lunch, or often trying to have a sleep because you've eaten the wrong food and you're knackered. So your insulin squirts out to save you, grabs that too much energy, you're giving yourself too much energy for the amount of energy you're expending, quickly shoves it into your liver and your muscles to get rid of some of it, the excess goes in the fat cells, and then we've got that blood sugar dip, and then you're craving more. So it's a fascinating process. By eating certain things, you actually make yourself hungrier, you make yourself crave more of it, and if it wasn't a healthy thing in the first place, unfortunately the high needs to get higher, so you crave more and more of it, which is why a lot of people are on a roller coaster of emotion, because they're turning to processed foods, which give you that high and then that low and that high and low. So you're kind of living on a roller coaster all day. And again, that's your hormones, the balance. We want to be balanced. We want to have a lifestyle. We want to eat delicious food all day. We want to have a huge lunch because it gives us energy. We want to have a huge breakfast because it gives us energy. We want to have something in the afternoon to keep our energy levels up. And we want to have dinner every night. We want to be normal. We want to eat and have lovely food all day. And this is where people are going wrong. They're eating the wrong food at the wrong times. And those foods are giving them a quick burst of energy and then a dip, rather than the good foods, which are slow releasing, which give you energy all day, so you feel full all day, so you don't have these highs and lows. And if we're balanced, it's fantastic. And again, that's the hormones. If we've got the estrogen, progesterone, testosterone thing going on, we're already maybe a little bit unbalanced. And by the food we eat, by doing the right food at the right time, we can reintroduce that balance again. So immediately already, not only are you going to be losing weight because you're eating all the really good food, lots of it, or my client says too much food on my plans, eating all the really good food all day and feeling, loving it and it's all delicious and fantastic. No diet, no calorie counting, no weighing. But that gives you the right release all day, so you've got the right balance in your hormones. And then if we're doing the right exercise, obviously we can we can improve on our estrogen levels and our progesterone levels by doing the right exercise. We can sleep better. We can take magnesium. We could take some estrogen or progesterone if you go and get tested and it's low. Take some testosterone. There's all these solutions. Yeah, maybe you need some vitamin D or some vitamin C, maybe B12. These can all help. And for example, exercise. Maybe you're doing too much high impact. Maybe you need to lower it so it's more fat burning and sugar burning. Maybe you're knackering yourself. I have some clients who are sort of doing way too much exercise and they're exhausted because as you get older, you don't want to be doing all that high impact stuff. You need to be doing a lot more resistance, metabolic resistance, not hypertrophy, metabolic resistance to, as I said, raise your skeletal muscle so you burn more calories. So all of these things come together. And it's really fun, actually, and it's really exciting to have that knowledge and know you can beat this belly. It doesn't need to be there. It really doesn't. You really don't need to have it. And if you think back to 1970, I always talk about this, not many people did. It's since the snack was invented, and sugar became so prolific in all the food we eat, that this has happened. But if you look back, even not that, it's maybe 75 years, people used to stand a lot more. We were farmer, hunter-gatherer, or we were postman, milkman, policeman. This sitting is, more recent. Most people, it's more recently sitting constantly, and this is why we now have 1 in 4 nursery school children obese, because the children are doing less movement than they used to. We've got a 70% increase in diabetes in 30-year-olds in the last 5 years, because people, since COVID particularly as well, have been moving an awful lot less. We are now 85% obese or overweight in the UK, America the same. We're going to be 50% obese by 2030. The GCC are catching up, Africa's catching up, China's catching up. It is a pandemic, and it's all about knowledge about what to eat and when to move. And this is the same with the hormonal belly fat. As I said, once you know what you've got to do, it doesn't need to be a problem, but you've really got to look at the way you exercise and what time, get the movement right. You've really got to look at the food you're eating and at what time and what foods you're having. Is it all processed man-made sugars? Or is it the healthy stuff? There's no such thing, they always say, as junk food. There's either food or junk. Are you eating junk? I always say this, if I give you 3,000 calories of chicken and fish and veg, 3,000 calories, you can be lean. But if I give you just 1,000 calories of chocolate biscuits with 20 teaspoons of processed sugar, 3,000 calories of chicken and fish and veg might only have 3 teaspoons of natural sugar. 1,000 calories of chocolate biscuits could have 20 teaspoons of processed sugar. So please don't ever talk calories. It has to be quality, not quantity with the food. And the exercise as well, it's about quality, not quantity. It's better to do not that much correctly than go manically off to the gym and do all this stuff wrong, which all my clients seem to be doing, and I have to explain. And that's how we get this sorted. So I hope that's helpful. It is completely reversible, as in we can't change the hormones, but we can reverse the belly fat, and we can work on it, and we can lower it, and we can make it go away permanently, because there's no need. If you look at animals in the world, they don't necessarily get an awful lot more sedentary or eating different food or larger as they get older. That's our choice, and we can choose to be as healthy as we want to be and live as long as we want to be. This is about longevity and health. It's not about weight, it's about longevity and health. The visceral fat, as I said, is what raises your metabolic age. It's dangerous if it goes up too much. Subcutaneous fat is not just aesthetic either. It's not a vanity fat, because if you have high subcutaneous fat on the belly, it pulls the psoas, so you can get really bad backache. If you are not using your skeletal muscles, you're not using your rhomboid trapezius, you can actually start to have shoulder ache, neck ache. If you're sitting all the time, the belly sticks out. Your pecs, again, if you've got round shoulders, your rhomboid trapezius, your pecs, that could be breathing problems. And your glutes can sort of merge, lazy glute syndrome. So if you're not using your skeletal muscle, again, the subcutaneous fat will go up, but also you can actually have health problems. So this isn't about weight loss. This is about health, subcutaneous fat and visceral fat, lowering them both to give us our best metabolic age, to give our optimal health and longevity. And that's what we're after, isn't it? Breathing better, sleeping better. So healthy eating will help you have more energy, live longer, sleep better. Yeah, reducing weight can reduce sleep apnea, less chances of certain cancers, less chance of heart disease. 1 in 3 now die of heart disease. So, less eyesight going, better skin, psoriasis and eczema can be improved with good gut health. So good, healthy eating can just change all of this. So healthy eating at the right time, the right kind of exercise, being aware that there's 2 kinds of fat and working on those. Yeah, and maybe going and getting some blood tests and checking if anything is too low, because then that's another solution. You can always get some more testosterone or etc. Maybe vitamin B12, whatever it is that's making you tired, vitamin D. So don't worry, it can all be sorted. Just think about what you're eating, think about how you're moving, think about how much you move all day, think about what time you're eating, and just really be aware that it's totally normal, this hormonal belly fat. This is what happens, but it doesn't need to be a life sentence. It can be changed, it can be reversed, it can be sorted. So reach out to me. I can always talk you through it in a one-to-one. I can make you a plan. I'll analyse what your situation is, and we'll come up with a solution and get you where you want to be, but get you there permanently, because really this is all about a long-term lifestyle. No diets, no weighing, no measuring. It has to be a lifestyle for the rest of your life that you love doing, that you love eating lots of food, that the exercise that you do, that you enjoy, because anything we don't want to do at our age, we're not going to do it. It has to be something we love. And that's my clients say, love this, it's so easy, it's not a diet, it's not a chore, this is a great plan, works for everybody, because literally it's a lifestyle way of eating that everybody can do. So positivity, purpose, there's a lot of that as well. Emotional eating goes in there, as I said, lots of cognitive behavioural therapy and neuralistic program. We can't do this on our own, we need the expert, so reach out to me. But as I said, I hope I've given you lots of tips, and all of this is reversible, all of this is stuff you know already, really. Maybe you just need a reminder. Okay, hope that helps, and I look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks, and we'll go on to our next topic. Thank you for joining me, and have a brilliant Monday evening. It's been wonderful to see you. Lots of love. See you very soon. Take care, and we're blessed. Thanks a lot. Bye.